Math. Something nobody likes.
Math. Something nobody likes. Like, how do you even get to all these answers? There's like millions of them.
I wonder who could have come up with all those genius equations.
Oh man, who the heck made math so hard?
I know, right? I bet it was those Greek guys.
Who are those people?
Just remember everything I taught you. But
I've got it. It was those three Greek guys. Euclid, Archimedes, and Pythagoras.
What did they do?
Euclid and Pythagoras. Those were those ancient math dudes, right?
Totally.
Well, Euclid lived from 325 BC to 265 BC. Some say he was the father of geometry. He studied at the University of Alexandria, and there he compiled his ideas of geometry into a book called Elements. This book gave many ideas towards geometry, and many of them are still used today. On to Pythagoras. He was born around 570 BC and died around 495 BC. He had many famous discoveries, but his most famous and influential discovery was the discovery of the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem helped find the missing side of a right triangle. Without it, we wouldn't be able to find that measure of the side and have.
After Pythagoras died, his students founded a school after him, based on his three values: goodness, expediency, and justice. In that school, they founded many other math theorems, but their most famous one was the theorem of irrational numbers, which states that not all numbers can be split into two equal parts. For example, the square root of 2. And lastly, Archimedes, one of the greatest known scientists of the ancient world. Archimedes was most famous for discovering pi, his principle, and helping to discover the density of water and how an object will sink or float. First, Archimedes discovered pi, 3.14, something we all know. Nobody else knew that the circumference of a circle would be pi until he discovered it. Then Archimedes went on to discover his own principle, which states that when an object is placed in water, the amount of water displaced is equal to that object's weight. Today, this is used to help determine weight on boats without having to pull them out of the water. Lastly, he discovered that the density of water is 1, so that if a boat with air inside has a density of less than 1, it will float and not sink, which is something that we still use today when building boats. 1.
But what about astronomy?
Well,
Yeah, that sun looks pretty big.
oh wait, Aristarchus proved the sun is larger than the Earth.
Wow.
So, to wrap up, even though math and science may sometimes be hard, we can all say thanks to those three Greek mathematicians and scientists for helping us figure out ways to make life easier and make life smarter. All the Fair Society highly.
Oh, now I get it.